In the wild, a successful strike begins long before the first movement. The lion does not rush its studies, holds position, and tracks every weakness. Silence becomes its advantage as it waits for the exact moment to act. When it commits, the movement is sudden, controlled, and decisive. Within seconds, the direction of the entire encounter is set. In arid environments, warthogs maintain safety by using burrows as shelters and reacting quickly to danger. While inside the burrow, it controls the confined space and reduces risk. Its escape reflex helps it handle unexpected situations. However, as external pressure increases and forces it to leave its shelter, this advantage quickly diminishes and turns into a disadvantage. Recognizing this, the lion locates the burrow and maintains a distance to observe instead of approaching directly. The pressure created from the outside forces the warthog to leave its burrow. As soon as prey appears, the lion accelerates rapidly and closes the distance quickly. The pressure is concentrated precisely at the moment of transition. The moment of approach occurs before the warthog has had time to stabilize its movement. The open space loses its footing, and the safe distance is no longer maintained. The confrontation ends quickly when the advantage from the burrow is gone. The outcome is determined the moment the prey leaves its hiding place. From this transitional state, the deciding factor lies in controlling both space and time. Once the hiding place is gone, all reactions become passive. And within a very short period, the outcome is clearly defined. Near the water's edge, the crocodile maintains an advantage by keeping a very short distance and reacting quickly in its familiar environment. While in contact with water, it controls its position well and is difficult to approach from multiple directions. However, once it leaves this environment, its ability to adjust diminishes, and the distance becomes disadvantageous. This change silently creates a chain reaction of weaknesses. In this disadvantageous state, a crocodile becomes trapped on dry land, making movement slow and difficult to adjust. Lions begin to appear from various directions, maintaining a steady pace and observing the reaction. As the distance narrows, the pressure increases progressively. The crocodile gradually loses its ability to maintain its previous position. The lion's coordinated efforts continue to push the situation further into disadvantage for the crocodile. When the situation changes, control is almost lost. That moment marks the end of the confrontation. This is not typical predatory behavior, but rather a consequence of losing environmental advantage. From the series of state changes that just occurred, the determining factors lie in the environment and timing. When the initial conditions are gone, all defense mechanisms rapidly diminish, and in a very short period of time, the outcome is clearly defined. In the animal world, hyenas maintain their instinct to seize opportunities by approaching quickly and competing for food. This strategy saves energy, but always comes with high risk. When an opportunity arises, They act almost immediately. This very choice gradually leads them into uncontrollable situations. A hyena approaches a food source and quickly leaves upon recognizing signs of danger. Behind them, a lion has begun tracking and maintaining a steady distance. When the right moment arrives, their speed increases significantly and the distance quickly shortens. The hyena is forced to flee under constant pressure. The lion maintains close proximity and gradually reduces the hyena's ability to move effectively. The escape route narrows as the running rhythm becomes unstable. The crucial moment comes when another lion approaches from the opposite direction. From that point on, the space for movement was almost completely locked down, and the chase ended quickly. This was a territorial response, not aimed at hunting. From this sequence of events, the deciding factor lay in location and timing rather than speed. When the direction of movement is controlled, any initial advantage quickly disappears, and in a very short time, the outcome was clearly determined. On the African plains, zebras maintain safety through early detection and quick group response. While maintaining distance, they can change direction and retaliate with powerful kicks from their hind legs. Coordination within the herd reduces risk from threats. However, when reaction time slows, the safe distance quickly disappears. Fails to recognize a danger at close range, allowing a lion to approach undetected. When the distance is short enough, the lion accelerates and closes in a very short time. The zebra tries to resist by turning and using its hind legs. But the pressure isn't limited to one direction. Another lion joins in at the right moment, shifting the situation from a single confrontation to pressure from multiple sides. The zebra's ability to maintain position diminishes rapidly as it has to react continuously. The confrontation ends when the initial distance and rhythm of movement are lost. The outcome is determined as soon as the situation changes. From this sequence of events, the deciding factor lies in the ability to detect early and maintain distance. When approached too closely, all reactions become passive. And when pressure comes from multiple directions simultaneously, the outcome is shaped in a very short time. In the open grassland, buffalo maintain safety by moving in herds and keeping a tight formation. Their advantage comes from their coordinated response, creating a multi-directional protective layer. While within this structure, each individual supports the others. But as soon as they leave the formation, the level of protection immediately decreases. Within that movement, an individual begins to slow down and gradually separate from the group. Lions recognize this change and maintain a distance, observing instead of approaching immediately. When favorable conditions arise, they coordinate from multiple directions and gradually tighten the space. Pressure increases progressively, causing the safe distance to quickly disappear. The coordination becomes evident when one buffalo maintains the direction of movement, while another intervenes at the point of imbalance. The buffalo tries to turn its head to react, but its movement rhythm is no longer stable. When constantly pressured from multiple sides, its ability to maintain balance rapidly decreases. The confrontation ends when the initial defensive posture can no longer be maintained. From a continuous series of pressures, the decisive factor lies in the moment of separation from the group. When the collective structure is lost, individual strength is insufficient to sustain defense. And under simultaneous pressure from multiple directions, the outcome is determined in a very short period of time. In open spaces, giraffes maintain safety thanks to their wide field of vision and the ability to defend themselves with their hind legs. Their close-range kicks generate significant force, forcing opponents to keep their distance. While maintaining their pace, they effectively control their approach. However, as pressure builds, energy expenditure increases noticeably. When exhaustion sets in, a young lion approaches early and attempts to close the gap prematurely. A direct defensive response forces the giraffe to retreat and adjust its pace. The pride then doesn't immediately accelerate, but maintains distance, observing and continuously applying pressure. The distance gradually narrows over time. When the giraffe's pace begins to slow, an adult lion joins in at the right moment. Pressure is then concentrated on more effective approaches, causing the giraffe's ability to maintain distance to rapidly diminish. From that point on, the situation turned unfavorable, and the confrontation ended quickly. The decisive moment lay in the attrition phase, not in the initial approach. From the established state of decline, the key factor was the timing and extent of energy expenditure. When the ability to maintain the rhythm was lost, all defense mechanisms became significantly less effective. And only after a controlled series of pressures could the outcome be determined in a clear direction. In the vast savanna, the impala maintains safety through its wide-ranging observation and quick, leaping reflexes. Its acceleration and changes of direction allow it to keep its distance from threats at close range. When focused, it maintains relatively stable control of its escape route. However, when attention is diverted, its reaction time slows and the risk increases. In a confrontation between two males, attention is entirely focused on competition. The lion maintains distance, observing and waiting for the right moment, not rushing to approach. When a clear moment of distraction arises, it accelerates and closes the distance in a very short time. Pressure builds precisely when the prey is no longer fully aware of its environment. The moment of approach occurs before the impala has had time to establish its escape route. The safe distance disappears, and the rhythm of movement is no longer maintained. The attack ends quickly when the passive state is not reversed. The outcome is determined at the moment of distraction. Gazelles are among the fastest gazelles on the savanna, but their advantage is built in bursts of acceleration. Once they have enough momentum, they can reach 50 to 56 miles per hour and maintain a safe distance. However, in the first few seconds, this speed isn't fully developed. This short transitional period creates a clear weakness. Recognizing this, the lion keeps its body low and observes at close range, not rushing to approach. When the gazelle begins to run but hasn't reached its maximum speed, the lion accelerates briefly to close the gap. Pressure builds up as the prey's pace stabilizes. The safe distance disappears with each step. The moment of approach comes before the gazelle reaches its survival speed. The escape route isn't fully formed, and the ability to maintain distance is gone. The chase ends quickly before the speed advantage can take effect. The outcome is determined during that transitional phase. In every approach, timing holds greater weight than raw speed. The lion remains patient, watching from a controlled distance, waiting for conditions to align. It does not rush without purpose, but commits only when the moment is exact. When it moves, the action is swift and final. This level of precision shapes the result before the target can respond. On the savanna, success is defined by the moment chosen, not the motion itself. In nature, lions don't always maintain the upper hand. There are confrontations where opponents proactively approach, maintain distance, and control the situation from the outset. When tactics are deployed at the right time, the tide can turn very quickly. And from those situations, the story of how other species force lions to retreat begins to unfold. In shallow water, the hippo usually has the advantage from the start. A mature individual can weigh over 3,000 pounds, with a thick body and jaws wide enough to exert significant pressure. It remains submerged for most of the time, only exposing its eyes and nose to observe. This calmness masks a very quick reflex when intrusion occurs, and the water begins to stir slightly. Near shore, a lion moves low, maintaining distance and observing. It doesn't rush, choosing its approach angle and timing. When the distance is close enough, it accelerates and closes in on its target. But just as it approaches, the water ahead suddenly rises. The hippo leaps up from the water with great force and straight ahead. The first moment decides the outcome. The lion immediately turns, switches to a survival stance, and leaves the area. There is no counterattack, only a quick retreat to avoid risk. The seemingly calm surface of the water is where control can shift in an instant. A body hidden beneath the surface can decide the entire course of events when it acts unexpectedly. And it is this sudden change that forces the remaining prey to choose to leave in order to survive. In the aquatic environment, crocodiles demonstrate highly effective coordination and observation skills. They maintain a low position below the water's surface, exposing only their eyes and nose to track. Every small movement of their prey is noted, and their distance is adjusted accordingly. When the time is right, they approach closely without making any obvious signs. A lion cub moves near the water's edge, and struggles to stay afloat. It loses its agility, and its reaction time slows down. From underwater, a crocodile approaches slowly. The distance is only a few feet, but the danger is not yet apparent. A swift leap from underwater occurs. The crocodile approaches and pulls the prey down immediately. The adult lion stands on the shore but cannot intervene due to environmental limitations. The situation ends quickly after the ambush. In this context, the key factor lies in the approach and the very close proximity. The crocodile maintained its position underwater to control the situation. The lion cub reacted slowly due to inexperience. Without intervention from the shore, the situation ended quickly. In food-rich areas, elephants react quickly to any unusual movement. Their over 10,000-pound bodies allow them to advance straight and maintain distance from intruders. They constantly monitor their surroundings and don't ignore unusual signals. When the distance is reduced, they immediately become active. A lion is feeding, focusing on its prey and lowering its guard. It's not hunting, but merely maintaining its position near the food source. From a distance, an elephant appears and moves straight in its predetermined direction. The distance closes rapidly, and the lion only realizes it's very close. The first charge occurs immediately. The lion doesn't retaliate, abandoning its prey and retreating. The elephant continues to advance, impacting the prey to break its grip. There is no resistance, and the hold on the prey is broken. In this situation, the elephant doesn't need direct combat to gain the upper hand. A quick approach and breaking free from control is enough to decide the outcome. Lions prioritize safety over food. When conditions are no longer suitable, leaving is a necessary option for survival. Hyenas demonstrate remarkable social intelligence when operating in groups. They assign roles, maintain distance, and constantly exchange signals to coordinate. Each individual monitors the target's movement and reaction. When conditions are right, the group adjusts its position to gain an advantage without increasing risk. An old male lion strays from its familiar territory and loses its territorial advantage. It moves slowly, trying to maintain distance, while a group of hyenas begins to stalk in a circle. The approach steps are short and controlled, aimed at probing and applying pressure. As the distance narrows, one individual moves closer to test the lion's reaction. The lion turns and attempts to fight back at close range, but its declining physical condition slows its reaction. The hyenas maintain their encirclement and gradually increase the pressure, not rushing to finish the fight to minimize risk. The situation tilts in favor of the hyenas, forcing the lion to retreat. At that moment, another lion appeared, changing the situation and causing the hyenas to retreat. In the open space, the hyena pack maintained formation and monitored their target's reaction in short bursts. Approaches were controlled, maintaining distance and increasing pressure rhythmically. When the position was close enough, the situation entered a decisive phase. In the open field, the rhino maintained a stable position from the start. Its over 4,000-pound body, thick skin, and front horns helped it maintain a safe distance. It always faced the lion and adjusted its movements carefully. The distance was kept tight, leaving no weak points exposed. The lion began moving in circles to find a rear angle. It lowered its body and approached step by step to test the rhino's reaction. Each time it advanced, the rhino immediately turned and stepped forward to maintain distance. This movement was repeated many times, creating a prolonged state of tension. The lion found no opportunity to attack. It stopped and did not continue to approach due to the high risk. The rhino remained facing forward and did not allow itself to be approached from behind. After a while, the lion left the area. The rhino's victory went to it without a fight. On the savanna, giraffes maintain distance using their height and wide field of vision. Their tall bodies allow them to observe movements around them early. Their strong hind legs are ready to generate force when needed. Upon detecting approaching pressure, they can stop and switch to an active defensive posture. A lion begins stalking from behind the herd, moving low and maintaining a steady rhythm. It tracks its target during the chase, gradually depleting the opponent's energy. When the distance is close enough, it accelerates and leaps, attempting to reach the neck. The giraffe suddenly stops and slightly rotates its body to regain balance. Immediately afterward, it delivers a powerful and precise kick from its hind leg. The lion is struck and thrown back, unable to maintain its position. The attack stops at that moment. In this situation, a timely reaction can turn the tide completely. Giraffes don't need to chase. They just need to maintain distance and wait for the right moment. Lions don't continue to approach and retreat to avoid risk. When conditions are no longer favorable, the confrontation ends quickly. In the tranquil expanse of the grassland, a buffalo remained still, its heavy body stable as a solid block. Every movement was controlled, each breath slow and steady, as if waiting for something to happen. And it was in that silence that danger began to approach, step by step. Not far away, a lion lowered its body into the tall grass, minimizing any signs of movement. It advanced slowly, choosing its moment precisely. Then, suddenly, it lunged and approached its target. The buffalo staggered for a moment, but did not fall. Dust rose, and the commotion began to attract attention around it. The entire herd of buffalo turned their heads towards the point of impact. At first, there was hesitation, a brief pause to observe. Then, one charged straight in. That action immediately triggered a reaction from the entire herd. One by one, they advanced, horns pointing forward, hooves pounding the ground. The lion didn't retaliate. It lowered its body, avoiding escalation. In just seconds, the situation changed. The lion was forced to retreat under overwhelming pressure. In this environment, individual strength doesn't determine the outcome. Buffaloes survive through observation and collective reaction. One movement can change everything. A controlled approach can quickly turn into a coordinated counterattack. In nature, survival often belongs to those who don't stand alone. In a harsh environment, hyenas maintain pressure by controlling distance and pace. However, not every target is controlled in the familiar way. When reactions are unexpected, the entire plan quickly becomes ineffective. And from those moments, the subsequent chain of events gradually unfolds. Hyenas maintain their hunting instincts in groups and constantly adjust their positions. They rely on auditory cues and distance to keep their formation stable. Endurance helps maintain pressure for extended periods, but this depends on coordination among individuals. When coordination falters, the hunt quickly spirals out of control. A change in direction or acceleration of prey disrupts the formation. Pressure is not maintained, causing distance to widen again, and the effort ends in failure. In open space, African wild dogs maintain a hunting formation with steady movement and close coordination. They constantly adjust their position, maintain distance, and observe to control the area. Upon detecting signs of weakening from their opponent, their speed increases immediately, opening the approach phase. In that area, hyenas control the food source and maintain a stable position. Wild dogs appear from afar, cautiously probing before getting closer. When they sense reduced pressure, they accelerate and split the target in multiple directions, speeding up the pace of the fight. Hyenas try to hold their position based on strength, but constantly have to adjust before short approaches. Wild dogs don't prolong attacks, but retreat when the advantage becomes unclear. The pace of the confrontation slows down, and neither side achieves a breakthrough. From this transitional phase, the deciding factor lies in the timing of engagement rather than the attacking ability. As resources dwindle, the motivation for confrontation also diminishes. Both sides maintain distance and do not continue to increase pressure. When opportunities are no longer clear, the hunt naturally comes to a halt. In dry terrain, the warthog maintains its safety through direct reactions and distance control. Its low, upright head keeps it within striking distance. It relies not on speed, but on the thrust of its charge. When pressure increases at close range, it holds its position instead of retreating, creating opportunities for other approaches. From this observational stance, the hyena pack begins to encircle and move in multiple directions. They approach in stages, applying short bursts of pressure before retreating to maintain a constant attrition. Individuals take turns maintaining distance to prolong the tension and control the pace of the fight. The warthog continuously counterattacks with straight charges to maintain distance. The hyenas are unable to finish the fight and must maintain pressure for an extended period, approximately 30 minutes. There is no clear winner. It is a physical and psychological tug-of-war where both sides hold their positions and neither can achieve a breakthrough. In a territorial environment, lions maintain control through quick reactions and direct pressure. They observe their surroundings and react immediately upon detecting intrusion. Their large bodies and quick reflexes give them an advantage at close range. When an object enters their controlled territory, the lion immediately shifts to defensive mode. The hyena moves into this area and begins to approach. It maintains a short distance and observes before getting closer. However, its presence is quickly detected. That moment completely changes the state of the area. The lion reacts almost instantly and moves to close in at high speed. There is no probing phase. Pressure is created from the very first approach. The hyena has no time to retreat and is cornered. Attempts to maintain position are ineffective, and the attack ends quickly. Following the recent close-range attack, the outcome depended not on the hyena's attacking ability, but on the lion's reaction. The hyena's survival depended on when the lion stopped. When the pressure was completely controlled from the start, the outcome was determined very quickly. In the vast grasslands, elephants maintain their protective instincts by keeping a tight formation around their young. Adults always stand on the outer edge and constantly adjust their orientation to the threat. Their large size and coordinated reaction allow them to effectively control distance. When pressure arises, the entire herd immediately switches to a unified defensive posture. The hyenas begin to approach, targeting the young as a weaker prey. They move in multiple directions, seeking to create gaps and apply constant pressure. However, the elephant herd quickly closes its formation and blocks all approaches. The controlled distance prevents the hyenas from advancing further. The mother elephant turns back and strengthens the defense with direct movements, repelling all close-range pressure. The hyenas are forced to maintain distance and cannot sustain their attack. The hunt fails without a breakthrough. When the herd structure is maintained, the outcome is clear. At the water's edge, the crocodile maintains its advantage by ambushing from very close range. The nearly smooth surface allows it to conceal itself and approach stealthily. Once the target is within range, the crocodile reacts instantly, quickly shifting to bring the target toward the water. This mechanism renders most of the hyena's approaches unsuccessful, and the situation quickly shifts to the next phase. The hyena approaches to probe and close the distance. Upon reaching the threshold, the crocodile suddenly accelerates, seizing the target and pulling it underwater. The hyena's reaction time slows, and it loses its footing as the environment changes. The distance is reversed in an instant. The hyena tries to hold its position, but its momentum diminishes rapidly without the land. The crocodile maintains control and continues to pull it underwater, rendering any escape attempts ineffective. The approach fails. Once in the water, the hyena's advantage diminishes significantly from the very first seconds. On open grasslands, cheetahs maintain their hunting instincts with high speed and short-range control. After each successful hunt, their stamina significantly decreases, and they need time to recover. They observe their surroundings and maintain distance from potential threats. When pressure builds immediately after a hunt, the situation becomes unfavorable. Hyenas approach and begin probing when they detect signs of weakening stamina. They gradually close the distance and increase pressure at close range. The cheetah responds by holding its position, issuing threatening signals, and trying to protect its catch. The pace of confrontation quickens as the distance narrows. Hyenas continue to approach but cannot maintain pressure for long. The cheetah maintains a sufficient distance and does not prolong the confrontation. The approach ends when the hyenas retreat, prioritizing safety over resources. When stamina cannot sustain the fight, the outcome is determined by a reduction in conflict. In dry terrain, the honey badger maintains its defensive instincts through proactive and quick reactions at close range. It stays low, observes, and shows no signs of retreat. Its ability to change direction and react instantly allows it to control unexpected situations. When pressure arises, it doesn't wait, but is ready to act immediately. The hyena pack approaches and forms a circle, expecting an easily controllable target. They maintain a short distance and increase pressure from multiple directions. However, the honey badger doesn't move away, but holds its position, observes, and waits for the right moment. When the distance is close enough, it suddenly lunges forward, disrupting the approach. The hyenas retreat and lose their initial coordination, failing to maintain pressure. The honey badger continues to move proactively, forcing the opponents to keep their distance. The approach is unsuccessful. With the rhythm of the battle reversed, the hyenas switch to avoiding contact. When the mindset changes, the situation becomes clearly defined. In seemingly tranquil rivers, all signs of danger are hidden beneath the surface. Crocodiles don't move hastily, but always maintain their position, waiting for the right moment to launch an attack from very close range. The attack is swift, direct, and eliminates all distance before the prey can adjust. And from that moment, the chain of events begins, leading to each recorded encounter. During large-scale migrations, zebras maintain safety by moving in herds and keeping their distance from dangerous areas. They often stop to observe, adjust their position, and only enter the water when pressure from behind increases. This coordination reduces risk, but does not eliminate it entirely. Once in the water, their ability to control the environment is significantly reduced. The water surface remains stable, with no clear signs of danger below. Crocodiles lie low and maintain precise positions near the migration route. When a zebra descends, the crocodile accelerates in a very short distance and approaches directly. Its jaws clamp onto the neck, creating an initial advantage. Immediately after being caught, the zebra reacts rapidly by twisting its body and using its hind legs to generate thrust. These successive kicks and maneuvers dislodge the crocodile's jaws. The resulting resistance prevents the crocodile from maintaining control. The prey escaped and quickly moved towards the shore. In this situation, the deciding factor lies in the continuous reaction and the ability to maintain momentum. When the crocodile cannot turn in time, the advantage of control diminishes. When distance is re-established, the chance of escape increases significantly. The results show that not every approach leads to an immediate end. In riparian environments, elephants maintain safety through herd structure and constant monitoring among adult individuals. They keep their distance from the water's edge and move in an orderly fashion to protect their young. When the formation is stable, the risk is significantly reduced. When there is a disruption in the formation, temporary gaps may appear. In shallow mud, crocodiles lie hidden and make no obvious signs. They maintain a position near the path of movement and wait for the opportune moment. When the elephant herd is disrupted during approach to water, the crocodile accelerates briefly and heads towards the vulnerable spot. The distance narrows before a collective response can form. Immediately after contact, the elephant herd begins to adjust its position to provide support. However, a synchronized response does not form quickly enough at the point of impact. The crocodile takes advantage of the water environment to maintain control for a short time. The results suggest that the approach focuses on structural gaps, regardless of direct power comparisons. During large-scale migrations, wildebeest rely on numbers and group movement to reduce risk from predators. They approach the water's edge in waves, stopping to observe and adjust their position before entering the water. By maintaining formation and distance, the risk is dispersed within the group. However, once in the water, their ability to control the situation is significantly reduced. The water's surface remains calm, with no clear signs of danger below. Crocodiles lie low, maintaining precise ambush positions and waiting for the right moment. When a wildebeest comes within close range, the crocodile accelerates rapidly and approaches unexpectedly. The distance is shortened before the prey can change direction. The moment of approach occurs within the first few seconds, before the wildebeest reaches a stable rhythm. The entire group immediately moves away, not providing support for the captured individual. The crocodile drags the prey into the water, where it controls the environment. The outcome is determined early on, when the prey is no longer at a safe distance. As soon as the situation changes, the deciding factor lies in the ambush location and the degree of surprise. In the water, the crocodile maintains the advantage of control. When approached at close range, the wildebeest doesn't have enough time to adjust. The outcome is decided at the moment of initial contact. In riverside areas, lions maintain a hunting style based on observation and timing. They hold their position, monitor their opponent's reaction, and control their distance before approaching. Group coordination allows them to approach from multiple directions without moving hastily. This approach often provides an advantage when the opponent leaves the suitable environment. At the water's edge, crocodiles keep their bodies low and restrict movement. A young lion approaches, causing the crocodile to react. The lioness moves in a circle to narrow the space, while another uses its paws to probe the reflexes. The crocodile quickly opens its jaws, forcing the lions to adjust their distance. Soon after, multiple lion prides join in, approaching from different directions and closing the distance step by step. The crocodile doesn't have time to turn around and control the entire situation on land. As pressure increases, it has to retreat towards the water. This shows that crocodiles cannot maintain their advantage when outside their familiar environment. From the state they have just formed, the decisive factors lie in timing and coordination. Once outside the water, the crocodile's control decreases significantly. When having to react from multiple directions simultaneously, the speed of reaction slows down. The outcome is determined when it can no longer maintain a stable reaction direction. In areas near water sources, gazelles survive by relying on high speed and the ability to quickly change direction to escape danger. While maintaining distance, they can accelerate instantly and break away from the threat. Their keen observational reflexes help them detect movement from afar most of the time. As they approach the water's edge, the safe distance decreases rapidly and becomes difficult to control. The water's surface remains stable and shows no obvious signs of danger. The crocodile lies low, maintaining its position near the line of sight and waiting for the opportune moment. When the gazelle lowers its head and before it can change its posture, the crocodile accelerates in a very short burst and approaches head-on. The distance is eliminated in the first instant. As soon as it is caught, the gazelle reacts by struggling and using its hind legs to generate force. Its movement is interrupted, and it quickly loses balance. The crocodile drags its prey underwater, where it maintains control. The outcome is determined quickly, once the prey is no longer able to create distance. Hyenas survive through experience, quick reflexes, and teamwork. They constantly observe and maintain a safe distance when approaching risky areas. This coordination allows them to quickly adjust their position when unusual signs appear. When facing water, they always have a clear escape route ready. At the water's edge, the crocodile remains hidden beneath the surface and makes no obvious signs. When a hyena approaches to drink, the crocodile accelerates briefly to get closer. This moment is quick, but not enough to completely eliminate the distance. The hyena detects the movement and retreats immediately, maintaining control. The encounter ends when both sides stop at a safe boundary. The crocodile does not leave the water and does not continue to approach. The hyena also does not venture further into the danger zone. This is a two-way risk assessment situation, where a timely reaction helps avoid falling into a disadvantageous position. When the benefits outweigh the risks, both parties stop. In a pack hunting environment, wild dogs maintain an advantage through coordination and rapid information sharing within the pack. They constantly observe and adjust their position to maintain a safe distance when moving near water sources. When the pack's support mechanism is activated in time, the risk is significantly reduced. Approaching the water's edge, the observation period can be interrupted. The water surface remains calm, with no obvious signs of danger. Crocodiles lie low, motionless, and very close to the passage. When a wild dog enters close range, the crocodile accelerates suddenly over a short distance and approaches directly. This moment occurs before the pack can react simultaneously. Immediately after being restrained, the pack's support efforts are not activated in time. The water space does not allow for maintaining distance or creating a foothold. The crocodile drags the prey down and maintains control. The outcome is determined quickly. The decisive factors were surprise and precise ambush placement. In the open environment, the cheetah relies on speed and the ability to accelerate over short distances for survival. On land, it controls its direction and maintains a safe distance from the threat. Speed allows it to close or widen the distance depending on the situation. However, this advantage is not maintained when approaching water. At the water's edge, the crocodile maintains a low position and makes no noticeable movements. When the cheetah lowers its head to drink, the distance narrows without warning. The crocodile accelerates over a very short distance and approaches directly. The moment of contact occurs before the prey has time to raise its head and adjust its posture. As soon as it is caught, the cheetah tries to struggle and change direction to escape. However, the water environment does not provide leverage to maintain its momentum. The crocodile pulls the prey down and maintains its control. The outcome is determined quickly, almost in the first second of contact. On the vast savanna, the lion appears as a calculated and disciplined force of control. Each approach is a combination of muscular strength, coordination, and precise target selection. These incredible moments demonstrate that the lion's success is not based on luck, but on well-defined strategy and timing. On the African savanna, the lion is considered one of the most impressive land predators. A mature male lion can weigh between 350 and 500 pounds, with powerful shoulders to control large prey. Its forelimbs generate immense force, and a single swing can break thick bones. Short bursts of speed allow it to reach nearly 35 miles per hour over short distances, but endurance isn't its main advantage. The lion's true strength lies in its control and strategic positioning. It closes the distance before unleashing its full power, often getting within 30 feet before accelerating. The muscular structure of its chest and neck helps it grip prey heavier than itself. When hunting in groups, coordination multiplies strength, turning multiple individuals into a unified force. However, sheer strength alone doesn't guarantee success. Even a 400-pound predator must weigh the risks, as a minor injury can be life-threatening. On the open grasslands, every confrontation is a test of timing, precision, and restraint. The lion's dominance doesn't come from constant violence, but from calculated force used at the decisive moment. Unlike many other herbivores, wildebeest survives thanks to their disciplined migration and ability to maintain a stable formation over distances of hundreds of miles each year. An adult weighs around 550 pounds, enough to cross arid grasslands in temperatures exceeding 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Their intelligence lies in maintaining a reasonable distance and reacting in unison upon detecting unusual movement. At the edge of the migration route, a lioness lowers her body in the yellow grass and observes the rhythm of the herd. She doesn't choose the strongest individual, but rather looks for a small deviation in the formation. When an individual slows down for a split second and the distance drops below 30 feet, the acceleration is quick and precise. The wildebeest immediately changes direction to return to the center of the herd, but the rough terrain slows its momentum. The lioness approaches closer and maintains her position until the prey gradually loses its balance. After a few tense minutes, the situation was decided. A single 550-pound individual can provide energy for an entire pride of lions for days. This development shows that even though wildebeest possess intelligent migration strategies and considerable endurance, a small deviation in the collective structure can create an opportunity. On the vast savanna, survival depends more on collective rhythm than on the strength of individual animals. Agile and precise, cheetahs are the fastest land animals, capable of reaching speeds of nearly 60 to 70 miles per hour over short distances under 1,500 feet. Their slender bodies and flexible spines allow them to change direction quickly, while their sharp eyesight enables them to detect movement from a distance. However, this speed is only maximized when the animal is in perfect health. On a hot afternoon, a cheetah with a hind leg injury moved slower than usual. A male lion noticed this weakness and approached with steady strides. When another male lion appeared nearby, the atmosphere turned tense with territorial competition. The cheetah tried to maintain distance, but the injury reduced its acceleration. The two lions narrowed the space and cornered their smaller opponent. After a short time, the situation was decided, and the advantage belonged to the lions. This encounter demonstrates that speed isn't always a guarantee of safety, especially when the body is weakened. Lions often eliminate competitors to reduce pressure on food resources in the area. On the savanna, order among big cats is maintained by strength, timing, and territorial control. Tall and composed, adult giraffes can be over 16 feet tall and weigh between 1,800 and 2,600 pounds. Their long legs not only allow for sustained movement, but also provide a powerful reaction force when defending themselves. With superior vision on the open grasslands, they are rarely caught completely by surprise. A pride of lions silently positions themselves around an adult. They maintain distance, observing every move and waiting for the right moment. The giraffe constantly turns, maintaining a steady pace and not leaving any gaps exposed for too long. When a lioness attempts to approach closer, the giraffe immediately reacts with a powerful kick from its hind legs. The force of the counterkick forces the predator to retreat, disrupting the encirclement. After a few tense minutes, the lions slowly retreat, and the prey maintains a safe distance. Approximately 85% of lion hunts are unsuccessful, especially when facing large and highly alert prey. Giraffes demonstrate that height, stamina, and precise reflexes can provide a decisive advantage. On the savanna, even pack hunting doesn't guarantee success when the risks outweigh the benefits. Unlike many other prey animals, zebras rely on both strength and collective vigilance for survival. A mature individual can weigh between 500 and 900 pounds, with strong legs and a powerful kick capable of self-defense when necessary. They move in herds to form a continuous observation network, and even a small change in behavior can send a warning signal in seconds. A lioness lies low in the bushes, watching an individual moving slower than the rest. She doesn't rush to act, waiting until the distance is less than 30 feet. When the right moment arrives, she accelerates with a short, precise movement. The zebra reacts quickly, turning and trying to maintain a safe distance, but the terrain isn't wide enough to sustain its speed advantage. The lioness closes in and maintains a stable position, gradually reducing the prey's agility. After a few tense seconds, the situation was resolved. Other members of the lion pride then appeared to join in accessing the food source. This development shows that even though zebras possess good stamina and reflexes, a single moment of separation from the herd can change the course of events. On the vast grasslands, continuous synchronization remains the key to long-term safety. Beneath the dry grass and dense thorny bushes, warthogs are a species that always keeps a safe distance from danger. An adult weighs between 150 and 250 pounds, possesses thick skin, and long, curved tusks that can inflict significant injury. They often forage near the mouth of their burrows, so they can quickly dive in for cover, and this habit makes approaching them incredibly challenging. A lioness begins her hunt in silence. She stalks her prey for hours, moving low to the ground and using bushes about 3 feet tall to conceal her body. When the distance is reduced to less than 40 feet, the silence ends and the chase erupts abruptly. The warthog accelerates toward the burrow, but the lioness has closed the distance close enough to subdue it. The prey is nearly the same size as the hunter, making holding and dragging it a difficult task. After a short but tense standoff, the lion prevailed. This hunt wasn't just about brute strength. It required hours of patience, precise stalking skills, and sufficient stamina to control a heavy target. In nature, victory often belongs to the individual who waits the longest and acts at the decisive moment. A single 550-pound individual can provide energy for an entire pride of lions for days. This development shows that even though wildebeest possess intelligent migration strategies and considerable endurance, a small deviation in the collective structure can create an opportunity. On the vast savanna, survival depends more on collective rhythm than on the strength of individual animals. When a buffalo inadvertently slows down and becomes separated from the herd, that protective structure is compromised. A group of lions observes from a safe distance, moving slowly and maintaining a coordinated formation. They don't act immediately, patiently waiting for the individual's reaction. The buffalo turns to face them and tries to maintain its balance, but the coordinated efforts of multiple predators gradually narrow the space for movement. After a tense period, the advantage shifts to the lion pride. The outcome is decided, and crucial energy is secured. A single individual weighing nearly a ton can sustain an entire pack for days. This illustrates that when faced with large prey, collective strategy determines success. In the savanna, even a moment of separation from the pack can alter the balance of survival. Through each confrontation, the lion demonstrates that its strength lies not only in muscle power, but also in its ability to read the situation and choose the right moment. From small prey to creatures weighing thousands of pounds, each strategy is adapted to the specific circumstances. On the vast grasslands, true dominance is maintained through discipline, coordination, and precise decision-making in every moment.